Hi everyone, I'm going to be doing two looks with the new Solmane II palette from OdensEye. I'm going to do on one eye, I'm going to do something very blue, and on the other eye I'm going to do something a little bit more golden. So this is what the palette looks like. If we remove the film, remove the plastic film, there we go. This is what it looks like. So there's a lot of blues, a lot of purples, and a few warm colors in here too. So I'm gonna do one eye a little bit more on the warm side and one eye a little bit more on the cool side. And then there's also, with the collection came 3 new Moonlight Feel highlighters and 3 new Sunlight Love blushes, which I'll show when I'm actually using them. So I'm going to start with with the blue side. I think the blue side is going to be a bit more complicated. I want it to be a little bit more like, I want it to be a bit more in depth. And yes, so what we're going to do, I'm gonna go in with this shade here called Space. It's a really beautiful matte blue. It's like a sky blue, but a little bit darker. And I've already primed my eye. I used P. Louise eye base today. And I'm going to put this in the crease and my hood. Apologies if you hear any noises. I do live in a public apartment building. But I'm just going to build this up. This is very pigmented so far. But I want more of the color to concentrate on the outside and then bring this in. Like so. I have a very, like around my eyes, especially my lower part of my eye, like my lower part, my under eyes, they're very naturally purple, more than blue. So it's kind of, I'm gonna use that to my advantage today. But I want to focus the space color more so on the outer part of the eye and a little bit on the lower. Just a little bit at the moment. I don't want to go all the way down yet because I do have natural darkness under my eye, so if I go too much then I run the risk of making my dark circles look more dark. Okay, I'm gonna go in a little bit with Dark Matter, this color here. It's like a lilac, but it has some glitter in there, but it is matte, so I don't think the glitter is really gonna show up all that much. It's probably just gonna wipe away. I never understood colors like that, that, you know, like they were matte but they have glitter, because the glitter is not gonna be, you know, dusted away. I'm gonna put this mainly on the inside. My fringe is being so annoying today. Like so. I don't really have anything here that can blend anything out, so I'm gonna take powder foundation in my shade. I'm just gonna run that along like so. I'm gonna pop a little bit more of that Dark Matter actually, because I really like this. Really beautiful. I can't see a tiny bit of the glitter, but it doesn't have any fallout or anything, so that's good. And then I'm just going to reinforce that space shade. Just in the outer part of the eye. And just blend that back and forth. Just so that we have that lovely contrast. And then slowly clean. I have little square cotton balls. Cotton pads, cotton balls. That's what it looks like. I'm gonna go in with an eyeliner brush. I'm going to take this beautiful color called Lunar Eclipse. This is a really beautiful deep eggplant purple. This is beautiful. So I'm just gonna take that. I'm just gonna, where that blue is, I'm not gonna go all the way in, but just where that blue is, I just want to add a tiny bit of depth. But because I have hooded eyes, sometimes adding a little bit of depth can be a little bit of a risky, because it can be, you may go a little bit too thick, and then the hood and the thick line will meet, and it'll just make your eye look very, very heavy. And so that's why I like using eyeshadow as an eyeliner instead. It's just a lot easier, it's a lot more controlling. I'm going to do a slight wing. I'm just gonna go in a little bit on my bare eye where I didn't apply any of that shadow, and just stick really close to the lash line. And then I'm going to do the same with my lower lash line. I'm going to go all the way just stopping where my eyelashes end. There we go. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of the shimmers. So, what shimmer? I'm going to go in with this one. Neptune. Well, I hate, apologies for that lip smack, but Neptune is a beautiful, rich blue. Just beautiful, beautiful blue. I'm gonna take this on my finger. Oh yeah, I'm wearing Cosmic Cowboy on my eyes today. My nails today. Oh, it's super shiny. Ooh. Gonna apply a little bit on top of my hood so you can see it. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. Also, all the cats are asleep, so this is great. Like, no one's disturbing me. And then I'm gonna go in a little bit with this blue here called Moonlight. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit more cool toned as well. There's a little bit more like white in there. I'm just gonna take my ring finger again. This one is a little bit more fine. The other Neptune feels a little bit more chunky. This looks like on my finger. Oh wow, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Very shiny, very metallic. I'm just gonna tap where the both colors meet. That is what it looks like. I'm gonna go a little bit above where my hood, just a little bit. The actual texture feels very nice and smooth. There's a tiny bit on my hood here, right here, that will not collect any of the glitter. It just will not collect any of the sparkle. There we go. That's really, really beautiful. Nice, lovely depth. And then I'm going to take, what am I going to take on the inner part of my eye? I'm going to take a tiny brush, small brush, and I'm going to go in with Pluto. This is a little bit more of a red toned purple. On the camera it looks very blue toned, but I'm picking this up on a very tiny brush because I won't be able to control it all that well with a finger. And I'm gonna spray my brush. This is a lip brush actually. Lip brushes are fantastic for detailing, especially if you have hooded eyes. So I want a little pop of purple. This one is not as banging as I thought it would be. It's a little bit more subtle with a brush. But I will see what it's like applied with a finger in a second. Because fingers are better with OdensEye shimmer shadows. Just use your finger, but hooded eyes, you know, I run the risk, especially since I have such little space, I run the risk of not putting it exactly where I want it to be. So I'm going to take my pinky instead, and I'm just gonna... It's very, there's a lot of pink in here. And I'm just gonna... Yeah, it does apply a lot better with the finger. As you can see. It's beautiful. Did it go a little bit too low? But it is okay. It is okay. But yeah. I'm going to go back in with that first brush that we used. This brush here. And I'm going to go in... I'm going to go in with Planet. Planet is like a very, very cool tone, dusty purple shade. But I cannot find the brush I used. What? It's fine. I'll just take this brush instead. But I'm just gonna go a little bit more purple on the lower part of the eye. But keep it very controlled. That's beautiful. I just want this to be a little more intense. I don't want it to go any lower. I just want it to be a little bit more intense. And I wanted to kind of meet that liner that we did. Okay. So that is the look so far. That's the first look. I will be right back with the finishing touches, and then I'll start with the second look. So back with the finishing touches, for my eyeliner, for my upper liner, I used, this is by Revolution. This is in an eyeliner in the shade Blue to tie in with the upper, the color in my upper lid, because I use a lot of blue. And then my lower lash line, I used the Solmane gel liner number 8. This is also in the shade Lavender for my waterline. And then mascara, I used by Lethal in the shade Static. It's a really beautiful dark kind of, it's like a periwinkle blue but a little bit more on the dark side. So that's the first look. It's very blue, purple, sparkly, really, really pretty. The second look I'm going to do, I want it to be a little bit more simplified, you know, not so many, not as many colors. So yeah, so the first color I'm going to go in with is going to be, it's raining quite heavily outside. I apologize for that. I'm going to go in with a little bit with this color here called Dust. It's a really beautiful light tawny brown, I would say. It has some star embeds in there too. And then this one has a moon embed. And then we've got a sun embed. Got another little sun embed in there as well. It's going to be really pretty. So I'm taking a very small, kind of narrow brush. And I want this to kind of go all the way in. I want this to go all the way. But concentrating the majority of that depth in the inner and outer. Kind of doing like a halo eye. My fringe. I should have just got my hairband and moved that out of the way, but I did not do that today. We want this to move up a bit so we can see it past the hood. So I'm going to raise my eyebrows a little bit. Gonna take Star, this beautiful yellow shade. It really is like a star yellow. You know the star, you know the yellow star fragments you can get from Animal Crossing, New Horizons. That's what this looks like. And I'm gonna focus this mainly on the inner part, right on top of that color, first color that we used, that dust shade. And then I'm going to focus on the inner part, but then also going to brush over this to blend it out a little bit more and add a little bit more yellow. Like so. I want quite a bit of yellow on this inner part right here. And kind of not go completely above, but not. Okay, I'm going to wipe this off. And then I'm just going to go in a little bit with Saturn. This is a very warm, very warm toned brown. Warm toned reddish brown. I'm just going to put this on the outside. Like that. Clean that brush off. I'm just going to blend. You just want that depth. I'm going to go in a little bit with a mixture of dust and star. Just like, you know, 1, 2, 1, 2. Just boop, 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 boop. I'm going to close my eyes. I just want a little bit under. Just for a little bit of warmth. Itchy nose. But don't want it to be as noticeable as this side. I kind of want to keep this eye open. Like looking very nice and open. And then I'm going to go in with Meteor. And I'm just going to go all over my eyelid with this. This is a pure true gold. It's the most goldy gold. It's the most goldy gold eyeshadow I have ever seen. It's so gold. It's beautiful. And I'm just gonna put this pretty much all over my eyelid. Very smooth. It feels very similar to the other colors, other shimmer colors that we use in the palette. There's a little bit of fallout. Oh yeah, a little bit of fallout with this. Not as much fallout here. I got quite a majority of the fallout from that Pluto shade, but I would definitely do my face first, my eyes first, sorry, and then my face. But look at that. It is such a beautiful color. I'm gonna take a little bit and just go over my hood a little bit. That way you can still see that sparkle over my hood. I did apply a little bit to my lower lash line, which I didn't really want, but that's the problem. That's the reason why I prefer to use a brush over my fingers, but alas, I'm going to take a very small brush and I'm going to go in with the shade Moon, which is a beautiful yet very white gold. Very beautiful. I'm going to take it on a brush and see how this goes again. And then if I need to apply, I'll basically treat this the way I did with Pluto. Let's see what it looks. Oh, very chunky. It's a little bit chunky. I'm gonna spray this. Hopefully that'll kind of stick a little bit. I'm just gonna... Oh yeah, this is a little chunky. Oh wow, but you know what? I'm gonna work with it. It's gonna blend. Okay, that's very metallic. Just gonna blend it a little bit. With my finger here, a lot of fallout, as you can see. A lot of fallout. But it does really open the eye. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of fallout with this palette. That's the only downside. Out of all of the palettes I've used, not just OdensEye, this is probably the worst for fallout I've tried. It's not even coming off with a brush, with a makeup remover, sorry. So I will warn you about that. I'm just going to remove the majority of this, do the finishing touches, and I'll be right back. So cleaned everything up. It didn't get everything, but this has definitely been the worst kind of fallout that I have experienced from a palette, not just an OdensEye palette. So if you don't like fallout, I would highly avoid this. Or if you can cope with it, definitely do your face second. So, but I cleaned it up and I did the finishing touches on my right eye. On my upper lash line, I used MAC's Eye Kohl in Teddy. It's a really nice dark brown. And then for my waterline, I used the Solmane gel liner in number 3. It's a nice, it's a little bit more muted on the eyes, you can see, versus the pencil. The pencil makes it look like a bright highlighter yellow, but on the eye it's a lot more warm and it's more sunny and bright. And then the mascara I used is from Lethal. It's Coil. I've been really enjoying colored mascara. I think it really helps bring a look together and without it being just black. Okay, so I'm going to put my... Actually, no, I'm not. Okay, I'm going to go through the blushes with you. So there's three blushes. 2 are matte and 1 is shimmery. So we have I'll start them in order. We have B104 and Solar Eclipse. And they're a little hard to open in comparison to the last ones, because the packaging is exactly the same. But this is what it looks like. It's very, very shimmery, and it's half peach and half pink. So this would be beautiful as a blush by itself or on top. So I think I might use this as like a little thing on top just to see what it looks like. But the packaging is really, really beautiful. But what I like about the blushes and highlighters from OdensEye in the previous collection, the packaging is beautiful, but the actual products, I really enjoy them. So the next one is B104 and Lilac Mist. Again, they're kind of hard to open. This is a very purpley mauve color. It's a lot more purple in real life. The camera's making it look a bit washed out. And then the final one is B105 in Pink Bloom. This is a little bit more like a dusty rose kind of color. And the boxes that come in, the boxes look like this. Just cap one of them. They're really, really pretty. The boxes are works of art. So I'm going to use a little bit of Lilac Mist. Hold on, Lilac Mist or Pink Bloom. I'm going to use a bit of Pink Bloom, and I'm going to take an angled brush because I prefer angled brushes. Just gonna load up my brush, and I think, ooh, pretty. Gonna work our way down. Very pigmented. That's very pretty. That's one thing I've liked about OdensEye products. Are always very, the blushes in particular, these kinds of blushes. I think they have other kinds of blushes that I've never tried before. I think it's like Alva, but I've never tried them before. But that's what it looks like. It's very subtle. I'm gonna apply a little bit more, just because I can. And then I'm gonna try the glittery one, the shimmery. I think it would look a little bit cool with the right eye that we used. Because the right eye is a little bit more subtle. It's not so, yes, it's shiny, but because the colors we use are very neutral, I think I can pull this off a little bit more. So I'm just gonna dab. Oh, wow. Let's see. Very glittery. Not a lot of pigmentation. This is definitely a color you would use on top of something, but I just wanted to see what it looked like on its own. But yeah, very, very glittery. If you don't like glittery highlighters, you're not gonna like this, or glittery blushes, you're not gonna like this. But it's definitely more of a topper than a blush that you would use on its own. But I just wanted to see what it looked like on its own, just to see what it looked like. And then we're gonna go in. I'll show you the highlighters now. We have H108 in Star Legend, which is this one. It's a beautiful icy pink color with a lot of blue, purple, and a little bit of like white gold glitter in there. This is the packaging. I freaking love the packaging of the Moonlight feel. Then we have H109 in Light Glory. This is very golden. I don't know how well I will be able to pull this off as a highlight. It would be really beautiful on deeper skin tones, but I'm still going to try it and see, because why the fuck not? And then the final one is H107 in Moon Tears. Again, these ones are so hard to open. This is kind of like if Azura Shine and Lavender Dream from the previous collection had a baby. Very, very beautiful. I'm going to try the first two that I showed. And this is the box for the Moonlight Feel highlighters. Okay, I'm going to go in with Star Legend. Okay, we'll see what this looks like on this side. They're very, very glittery. I don't mind glitter highlight. It's just, ooh, you need to make sure that the fallout is completely gone. Otherwise, if you go in with like a highlighter like this, it's gonna look way too glittery, if that makes sense. So you need to make, definitely, that's what I would do personally if I was gonna go outside. I would make sure that, wow, it's really beautiful. It's very wet looking, and that's what I like about it. Very pigmented for a highlighter too, very glittery. So I would like really make sure that my base is completely matte, and then go in with a highlighter light like this, because they're very, very glittery. The most natural looking is Warm Sunshine, I think is what it's called. It's a really lovely golden color. So we're going to try a little bit of this on top. It's probably going to look very, very glittery because we did use a glittery blush on top, underneath, sorry, but it's picking up really well on the brush actually, so we'll see. Ooh. I'll try a little bit on the nose since I don't have anything on my nose. Ooh, it goes a lot better with my skin than I thought it would be. Very lovely and warm. This will look beautiful on top of a peach. Oh yeah. And I'll go a little bit on my chin because I want to see what it looks like. Yeah, this is a lot more subtle than the first one that we used, the Star Legend one. This one's very glittery. This one is still glittery, but it's more fine. Like, you can definitely still notice it, but as you can see here, see how this looks really wet? This doesn't. This only looks this only looks a lot because I applied that shimmery blush underneath. But yeah, so that's what it looks like. When it comes to like lips or something, I'll probably go in with this. This is Beauty Bay's lip balm and coconut vanilla. I'll go really simple on the lips. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Very simple. Just a light wash of color. And it goes with both, you know, it kind of, the warmth helps balance the coolness, and then it kind of goes with this. It's really, really pretty. So overall, how many colors did we use? If I can find the damn thing for the where on earth did I put, here we go. We used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 shades. We use 11. I will say Pluto and Moon have a lot of fallout, whether you use a brush or your finger. It's probably been the worst fallout I've ever experienced from those two shades in particular. They are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but if you do not like fallout, do not buy this. Just don't, because you're going to get way too frustrated. However, if you love color, what I like about this is like there are quite a few blues in here, but the blues have different tones. This one's a very gemmy blue. This is more of a sea blue. This is more of a white blue. You can have different depths, and because you also have yellows in here, yellow is a lovely, I always consider yellow to be quite neutral because it helps to neutralize things around it. So you can always use these colors here to help neutralize that blue and help bring that blue down so that you feel more comfortable until you can feel like you can pull off something like this, or that you feel comfortable on something like this, you know. I'm definitely gonna play with this again. I kind of want to do a look next time combining like these two colors with these. Oh, imagine these two together. Like that all over the lid, and then that just on the lower lash line with a really bright blue liner in the waterline. That would be beautiful. But yeah, I used all of them. They're all really, really beautiful. The shimmer formula feels very nice. It does work better on a finger than it does on a brush, which, you know, I do prefer using a brush, because it's just because of my shape. It just makes it easier for me to control, and but that's not really OdensEye's fault. Like, most shimmer shadows do look better applied with a finger. But yeah, a lot of fallout. The blushes were really, really beautiful. The blush I tried was very pigmented. The shimmery one, the Solar Eclipse, very, very glittery. If you don't like glittery blush, if you don't like glittery highlight, you're not gonna like it. Although I do recommend the Light Glory one if you don't like a lot of glittery highlighters. It is a bit glittery, but because I think it's because it's quite golden as well, and so the gold is a little bit more natural looking. It's not so bright as like a pink or a purple or blue or green the way the last ones were. The fact that it's glittery kind of pulls it down a little bit. I think if Light Glory was any other color, it would probably be too glittery. Does that make sense? But it's very fine. It's very golden. If you love that golden kind of sheen, it will look really beautiful. I have a lot of like fluff. It will look beautiful on top of a peach, I think. So overall, I really like it. I did have problems with the fallout, but I don't mind cleaning up fallout. It doesn't bother me. I do my eyes before I do my face. It's just how I've always done it, so it's not really, doesn't affect me too much. I will say the shimmers are very, very bright and wet looking, but like they're a little bit chunky. That a little bit chunkier than I expected, but they still perform very, very well. So just be a bit careful if you are digging in. You know, you don't want to like kind of smush the shadow. But yes, that is the overall look. I hope you like both of them. Let me just... So this one's really, really beautiful. I really like this one, actually. Very, very glittery. It does kind of bring out a little bit of my purple in my under eyes, but then we've got this side. It's very pretty too. Both sides are beautiful. Very, very beautiful. So yeah, that is the overall kind of first impressions. Not really a review, it's first impressions. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching, thank you for following, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everybody.